So knee alignment, the final part of it is when you are in a bow stance. So we're going to look at bow stance yang style. So if you just turn to your left side and you put your right foot forward here, no, sorry, your left foot forward, else you won't see me, and get your weight onto it. Back foot is at 45 degrees to the other foot, not straight. That would be more like Wu style. It's more 45 and definitely not 90. So this back foot at 45. Now then, when you're in this position, what you need to do is you need to sink your pelvis. Now, what's going to happen is that this joint here on the front side, on the rear leg, the inguinal groove, is going to feel like it's going to open. It has to open. This depends a little bit on where you've got your body facing, right? So if I turn the body now, if I turn my body and point it dead forwards, then this is really going to open here a lot. So the more you turn this way, so if you put a hand here, this is your left, no, it's your right inguinal groove here. Get your weight on your front foot and just leave your little finger edge there. Now, if you just turn towards me, you can sit back if you want, it doesn't matter. But when you turn, you'll now feel the fingers starting to be trapped. So when you open up, when you turn to this to face this way straight to the side wall, this is now going to start to open more. Now, for a lot of people, they're not used to that. It's the equivalent of sort of doing ballet turnout, you know, when you take the leg right out the side. So for a lot of people, this is not a nice feeling, but it's very good if you let it happen and you get used to that feeling, because here's your lymphatic system, well, part of it, certainly a major groupings of lymph nodes, and we really want to pump that area. So one of the reasons why Tai Chi and Qigong are so good for you is because this is one small reason why, because you're actually pumping the lymphatic system all the time. So when we go to the side, you can go the other side or you can step straight forward. It doesn't really matter where we face. So if I go forwards and I step and I move my weight forwards and I square my body, if I let this close here, the knee collapses. So this is really not good on your knee joint on the inside, because now in effect, as you can possibly see, my foot's somewhere over here, but the knee's somewhere over here. The two are no longer aligned. So I need to feel like that opens out. Okay, so we've touched on this a little bit before, but not so much in this posture. Now then, the next thing that needs to happen is your leg at the back needs to be straight. So what that straight means in Tai Chi and Qigong is, and you can do it now, just stand up on both feet like this. So would you bend your knees? Yep. So you're sitting down in effect a little bit. Yep. The knees are definitely pushed forward. Now you stand up, go to neutral. And now would you hyperextend your legs backwards? Okay. This is no good either. We've gone to the two extremes. Now, if you can't hyperextend your leg backwards, you probably might be able to a fraction, enough to make the back of the leg feel really tight. Yeah, it's too far. So what we want is, we want somewhere between this and somewhere between that, where you push the legs backwards. So when you push the legs hard backwards, so face the screen for a second, it doesn't matter where we go. So push your pelvis back, push your legs backwards, your knees backwards. You can feel that this has now caught up here. In order to do that, you actually involved your lumbar spine. You just try it again. So you really force the legs backwards there. This is terrible for martial arts. You never ever would do this, but we're just seeing what the relationship to the spine is here. Now just let the knees relax and go to neutral, and you'll find that the spine releases a bit. If we were to then bend the knees and sit down and tuck your bottom under, you'll find that this part of your spine here opens out quite considerably and feels like it's even pushing out behind you. Well, we don't need that, because we don't want the knees bent. When we're in this position here, please face the screen if you want to, this leg just needs to be straight. It's not hypered back, so that's me locking it, and now this has made this all go tense. It's not me bending it. It's just straight. Now, when you do this back leg, you know, let's say we're doing Tai Chi, because it's more, it's easier to explain it in Tai Chi terms, in the sense that in Tai Chi, you might have someone pushing you or you're pushing somebody. So if someone's pushing me, who's double my strength, triple my strength, if my knee's here, I'm going to have a lot of trouble stopping it from bending even further. As they push into me, it's going to want to bend. I need their force to pass right down through me So it would come, let's say they're pushing my hands, the energy would pass, their energy would pass down here through the shoulder joint, down my spine, and it would reach the rear heel. If I hyperextend backwards like that, there's a slight chance that if they're super strong, they're actually going to reverse the joint, which we really wouldn't want. This way, if I bend it, the energy is going to go down here, it's going to reach the leg, and it's not actually going to travel, so it will to a certain extent, but not so efficiently to the heel. It's going to reach here, and it's got a kind of a choice. Does it go down or does it go that way? So it's almost like it perhaps feels like the energy is a little bit divided somehow. So when you do a bow stance in Tai Chi, when you do a bow stance in Qigong, not always in Qigong, because we've got different aims in Qigong, we've got different intentions. But particularly in Tai Chi, the back leg in a bow stance will be straight and the knee will feel like it's opening outwards so that this joint on the side of the rear leg feels like it's not compressing inwards.